Good afternoon, golfing fans. Welcome back to the channel. Proudly sponsored by betting.co.uk. So I've already released my selections for the DP World Tour this week, where we of course have the Irish Open at Royal County Down. But we've actually got four really good tournaments this week. So I thought I'd jump on and actually bring you an each way lucky 15 coming from the DP World Tour, the PGA Tour, LIV Golf Chicago, and we've also got a really good event on the Challenge Tour as well. Now, again, just briefly before I go on to my selections, welcome to my channel if you are new here. And just a quick bit of a background about myself. I'm an ex-tour professional, so I've got playing experience. And I'm now putting that good use trying to find you the right selections for the tournaments each week based on the course features. Across Twitter and YouTube last year, I was the second most profitable golf tipster. So something must be working quite nicely, and I'm using that again this week, but we've got four events to get stuck into. And also, if you are new to my channel, if you can click subscribe to this video, that does help me out and get my content out there to a wider audience as well. Now, for the DP World Tour, I am obviously going to use my strongest selection of the week here, but I will give you a little bit of a recap on that too. But I'm using Ladbrokes for this week's tournament, and I'll give you the places that they are offering as we go through the event. But if you'd like a sign-up offer, you can use the link in the description below, but that is completely up to you. So selection number one for me is going to be Bernd Wiesberger here. You can get 28 to 1 and 10 places with Ladbrokes. Now, he's a player that's ever so consistent when he seems to come to links golf courses. And this isn't something that he plays on very often. Okay, he comes here, obviously, a couple of times each year, but away from his normal routine. He's not out there practicing on links golf courses, but he does play some very consistent golf on these sort of tracks. And I'll go on to explain why in a moment. He's also playing really well this year. He's got 12 top 25 finishes, including several top 10s this season too. And that is all down to his iron play. And let me explain a little bit for you why that's so important. I explained in my last video, you will see the likes of Guido Migliotti, fantastic player, really good ball striker, but he never seems to hit any half shots. Everything he hits is 100% all the time. And it's very hard when you're playing links golf courses to find the flat spots on the green and to make sure you're getting the right spots when you're attacking the greens as well, when you're hitting it full every time. What you can do is obviously get quite a low score that way, but consistency over 4 rounds on links golf, hitting everything 100% is just really, really difficult. And that's what I like about Bernd Wiesberger. He hits a lot of half shots, a lot of 80% shots, and he controls his ball flight very nicely too. So he's going to have more birdie opportunities than most. Don't get me wrong, there's going to be a lot of bogeys this week, but what you want to do is eliminate so much danger. And I think the players that are hitting the half shots, controlling their trajectory well, will obviously have more opportunities. He's very good at his distance control as well. And I think, again, that's just bringing a lot of consistency into his game. And the reason why he is so consistent at links golf courses too. He was actually second here as well in 2015, and he's had some really good finishes at links golf courses since then as well. And of course, he is an 8-time DP World Tour winner. A really good ball striker, very good iron player, consistent with it too, and doesn't hit everything full. Nice controlled golf is just what you need around here, and he's got a pretty solid short game to go with it. So selection number one is Bernd Wiesberger at 28 to 1. And you'll get 10 places with Ladbrokes. Then we'll move on to the PGA Tour. We've got the Pro Court Championship at the North Course at Silverado. It's a par 72 over 7,166 yards. So again, this is going to be quite a short course of the PGA Tour, quite typical. So I expect there to be quite a low score, particularly as they've got good weather booked for this week. There are a few players that I came up to consider here, but the one I've come down on is the progressive Luke Clanton at 22 to 1. And with Ladbrokes, you will actually get 8 places using their book, their sports book. So, but he's a really progressive player. He's only played 6 events on the PGA Tour so far, but he's made the cut on 5 out of 6 of those. He's had 1 runner-up finish, 2 top 5s, 3 top 10s, and I could just see him going really nicely here. Now, you actually do have quite narrow fairways around this course. And although the rough looks quite penalising, it's actually not. The type of grass they use here isn't the sort of deep, thick rough. So I don't think it's going to be too penalising. So I'm not too concerned about players coming, being a bit wayward off the tee. Again, it's sort of a course where I'd like to see a solid short game, Good ball strikers as well, because at least if you are in the rough, you're going to be getting a good strike when you're coming out of it. And Luke Clanton is that. He's absolutely thriving at the moment. He's up to world number 143. A very good all-round player. Hits it long. Superb short game. And I'm pretty sure he's going to make a breakthrough too. He reminds me of Nick Dunlap, who just came onto the PGA Tour, thriving, also made his breakthrough. And Luke Clanton was talking about it this week, that he's just relishing the opportunity again of coming up here against the big boys. So 22-1 may look a little bit short based on his short-term resume, but he's got all of the tools to go well. I don't see why he shouldn't be playing well around this golf course. And I expect him to be capable of a few low rounds around here too, which is going to be required. Okay, then we go on to LIV Golf Chicago. Now, I actually had a couple of players in mind for this one, and I will note them anyway. Tyrrell Hatton, okay, he can get a little bit heated at times, but he's a seriously good player, not to be underestimated. But his breakdown at the British Masters was a little bit of a concern for me. I didn't really understand the reason for that. And I just want someone who's a little bit more relaxed, perhaps, than Tyrrell Hatton at a single-figure price. I also looked at Cam Smith at 14-1, and I'm probably going to have a small single on Cam each way, actually. I think he's a player that can go really well around here. But the player that I have come up with is Bryson DeChambeau at 15-2. Short enough, don't get me wrong, but if we can get a few of these others in the places, or even in the winner's enclosure, then it will soon start to tally up. 5 places again there with Ladbrokes. And they're playing at Bolingbroke, a par 72, 7,104 yards. So a really, really short golf course. Short par 5s, drivable par 4s. And this is actually a course that you can overpower. So, of course, with the good weather, Bryson fits the bill. I also think he's got a very underrated short game, actually, as well. He's been quite consistent there too. He's been playing well recently. And if Bryson doesn't score well around this sort of golf course, then something's wrong. Expect low scores. Bryson can do it all. He will do for me in LIV Golf Chicago. But I will have a single on Cam Smith each way as well. And then on the Challenge Tour, we have the Portuguese Open at Royal Abido, I think is how you say it. Probably a tougher course than what you're going to see on the PGA Tour and LIV Golf Chicago this week. It's a par 72, 7,283 yards with 5 par 5s, so it is scoreable, but still the par 4s around here are much more difficult. Actually, the par 3s are too when you actually have a look through this course. And another tournament where I had a couple of players in mind. It was actually won by a pal of mine last year called Marco Penge. And I actually think this time round, there's a couple of golfers that suit here quite well. Ollie Lindor is going to be popular. He's had 2 good finishes here in the last 2 years. But I also quite like David Horsey at about 33-1. Now, I played with David Horsey at Royal Ascot, and he shot 10 under par. It was just unbelievable to watch and to play alongside when I shot 1 under myself. And I think I shot about 8 over par the next day. But he shot 10 under around there, and he's just excelled since. So I think David Horsey could be worth a shout. But the player that I'm going to be siding with here is Mikael Lindberg at 33-1. 5 places here with Ladbrokes. Good ball striker, good short game, very, very good with the putter as well. And again, I think the people that are putting well around this difficult course will probably do well at scoring too. He was 2nd in the Finnish Challenge. He was 3rd in the Swedish Open. He then shot 2 rounds of 72 in his latest tournament. No harm done there at all. It was quite a difficult course. And even though he missed the cut, nothing really went wrong for him. It was just 2 solid rounds. So I think here, though, at the Portugal Open, a course where you need a good short game, you want a solid putter on side, especially when you're going to be attacking these 5 par 5s. I think Mikael Lindberg is a really solid option for that there. So 4 selections, and just to recap on those, and these are again all with Ladbrokes. Bernd Wiesberger, 28-1, 10 places. Luke Clanton, 22-1 with 8 places. Bryson DeChambeau, 15-2 with 5 places. And then Mikael Lindberg, 33-1 with just the 5 places as well. That's an each way lucky 15. Obviously, just small stakes here. No need to go big when we've got such big prices. But just a reminder, I will actually play a couple of singles here on Ollie Lindor in the Challenge Tour and Cam Smith in the LIV Golf Chicago. Okay, so everyone, thanks again for tuning in. I'm going to be rolling out more videos more frequently for my golf selections each week. So if you'd like to be notified when my episodes do go live, if you click the button below which says subscribe, you will be notified of those episodes. And of course, it's free to do so, and it helps me out a good deal as well. So thanks everyone for tuning in. I'll see you all again next week with some more selections.